Hello, welcome to Bill-O-Gami. Now, in the previous video, I showed you how to make this rather classic geometric shape. Today, what I'm going to show you how to make is this geometric shape. Now, this one is kind of unique because it's my own design and I haven't seen it on YouTube anywhere. I like it, and I think you will too. It's something a little different. It also has the capability of being a little bit of a paperweight too, because like this one, the classic one where I used 4 batteries to give it a lot of weight, this one we can easily put 2 batteries in, and that still makes it a good paperweight. Now this particular shape only requires 2 types of squares, really. There's this shape, which is the center part, that's $2 bills, and then the 4 sections around it, each one, identical squares. Now, in order to make these items, we have to have $10. Got to have $10, and they should be fairly crisp bills in order for it to really work well. It's very easy folding. But one thing I wanted to warn you about when you're looking at your dollar bills is to check the borders, because some bills, like this one here, as you can see, has a much wider border on the right than on the left. And you really don't want to use this. You want to use dollars that have rather even borders. Normally they're about 1/4 of an inch. And I always do these kind of geometric shapes using the back side of the bills, because the front sides are even more erratic and they don't have very large borders. But if you want to do it on the front side, you can. Anything that I show you, can be done with either one of the bills. Well, let's get started. The best way to do it, let me move this out of the way right here, is to take this one bill. Of course, we're not going to use that, so we'll give that a little pitch. Is to take each one of the dollars, and what we want to get them into is we want to get them into little square-like tubes, because what we need is we have to have 5 sides, and each one is 1/2 an inch in height. And in order to do that, fold that fairly easily, you can either grab a ruler and measure everything, or you could just use this kind of guideline that I use, which is on the top of the back anyway. I go right to where this little white line is, and I fold that over. And then on the bottom, I go just above where the $1 is and fold that over. And once I have those 2 folds, then all I have to do is just fold it in, and that creates that one, and then fold this one over, and that creates the next fold. Now, let me fold this side in first. Works better in this case. And then you just give them, a real good crease. And now what you want to do is, once you've created one of these, is go ahead and fold the other 9. And then you can decide on whether you want to have, the white United States of America on top, or whether you want the green $1 on top, because you're going to want to fold these down the road where you're consistent. They have to be the same in order for the white lines to stay there. Okay, so what we do is we fold all 10 of them like this. And then we go in and make, I'd recommend it's easier if you just start and make this particular square first. And this, of course, is $2 in half, and they're both the identical shape. Now what you need is, because we know that, that this particular shape has got a 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and a 1/2 inch. It's got 4 1/2 inches, so each side needs to be 2 inches long. And so in order to get this side 2 inches and that side 2 inches, again, you could use the ruler, or if you don't have one handy, an easy way to do it is to fold this bill in half. And this bill is really, it's a little over 6 inches, so when you fold it in half, you got about 3 inches, and the folds kind of take up the difference, really. But in order to fold this thing into it, to take an inch off of it, the easiest way is to just look at this as here's 1/2 inch, another 1/2 inch. So that makes, when you fold this over, what you've done to make a square, therefore this distance here is 1 inch. So if you just fold this over there at that point, suddenly now what you have is you've got this length here that's 2 inches. And you need 2 sides, obviously, this side and that side. And so you just fold this one over, and there you've got both sides that you need. And then you do that with both. And then once you've got them both exactly the same side, decide which ones you want for this to be this, because you want them to be the same. And so if, let's say we're doing just the opposite, we just do it with this, where we've got the eagle symbol as opposed to the pyramid symbol. So what we want to do, since that's going to be this side, is we just tuck that in. And then we do that on the other bill too, that we've also created. So that makes basically that side there. And then for this one, all we need to do is just leave it there. You can kind of fold that over if you want. And then what we're going to do in order to get it all enclosed is simply take on the medium strip, or this and this one, so on this medium strip, and it's important you use this fold at this point, because otherwise you can't get the two to fit together. So what we do is just fold this over so that these two ends meet. And then we take on the other side and we fold that over so that these two meet. And then do it on this side, like this. And then on this side, like that. And basically, this is what you have. Now you want to give these things a little extra crease to make them really, really firm, so you put it like that. Then you put in whichever side you don't want to be on top. We pull this end up and fold this in, and then what we do is, so when we take the other side, which is the one we want on top, then we just open that up and put that on top. Now you can, at this point, if you want, then you can take this one and kind of tuck it into here, because at some point you're going to want to have this thing tucked in. And so there we have it. Now what I do on all these, and particularly it's important on the short ones, is just to take this end and crunch it, pinch it in. Because this is where, this one, to make it easier to slide that one in. And after you've done both of these, put them together so that, later on when you need them to go together, it's just a question of like this, just sliding it right in. So you do both of them like that, and then make sure that they're both the same, exactly the same size, so that this comes out to a nice, a perfect square. And that takes care of those two pieces. Then the next one that we're going to do is going to be, I've already folded these so that it's already like that, is that we're going to have to do these pieces here. Now these obviously are let me grab this one, is obviously we got a ½ inch, we got a ½ inch, ½ inch, ½ inch, so each side is 1½ inches. Well, we already know that this bill, when you fold it in half, is 3 inches long. So since we want each side to be 1.5 inches, all we have to do is just pick one side or the other, and again, be consistent as to whether you're folding over on the, which side you're going to fold over first anyhow. Like in this case, I'm just picking the pyramid just because it's right in front of me. And what we'll do is we'll tuck that in, because that's going to be the long side. And so that's all we do, is just do that, and then we've got that one. Now this one, this side, we also fold that back because that needs to be 1.5 inches. So we got 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. Only here we need to have kind of a short one, which is this one here. We need a short one. There's no specific measurement for that, so you can just fold that over to whatever is comfortable for you. But we fold it over like that, and then stick that in. And then we just fold that down and that down, and make sure. And what I do is I do all 8 of them at once, and make sure that they're all the same size. That just makes it a lot easier. And like with this one here, or this one, the longer one, what we do is we take and make, this fold. I don't know how good I'm doing on showing this fold here, this 45-degree fold, on the inside piece. Do that one just like with the other one. Do that one, and this one, and then this one. So once again, we get, something that looks like this. And here we've got our ½ inch, ½ inch, ½ inch, which is just what we want. And again, we just open up, the one side that we want on the end, that's not going to be exposed. Then we take the other one and we open that one up and tuck this one in. And basically, there we've got it. Now, once again, though, we'd want to take these and tuck those ends in on both sides. Tuck them both in, so that they look like this. And here again, what I've done is I've taken and folded, pinch these ends, the short end, just again to make it easier. And once you've gotten your first 2 done, put them together there again to make sure that, the fit is good and that it's easy. And make sure, yes, it looks just right. And so you do all of those like that. Then all we have to do, since we've got 4 of those, and we've got these 2 for the border, is now all we have to do is assemble them. And the easiest way to do that is just to pop one in here and one in here. So we've got those 2. And then what I do is, this is just my way of doing it. You can do it. There's a lot of other ways you can do it. I just put these 2 together. Like, tuck that into there and close it on up. And then for these, what I do is I just take this one and stick it in there, and then I take the other piece of it. As you can see, it's really fairly easy. Just tuck that one in, and then tuck that one in. Make sure I get it all in, and then you close it up. And then I do the same thing over here. I take this other small one, separate it. Just tuck it through there. Tuck it right into there. And then take the other one and, oops, and put that in like this. Put it in. Kind of hard to see when I've got it like this. Here, I'll put this one in first. And then I'll punch it out a little bit more so that I can get that in. And then this one in like that. And then just tighten it up, and then the whole thing is done. Now, if you are going to put two D-type or AA batteries inside this one piece here, what I recommend you do to make it easier, because it's a little tough to, let me get these things out of here. It's a little tough to do it like assemble it the same way. So what I do is I take this apart, and then I put the two AA batteries in here, in each one of these ends, and then I put this together. Because when it's like this, it's easier to get in, since it's a tight fit with those batteries. And then I take these and just individually put them in. That way you will get something with some, one of these with some weight in it, if you really want to use it as a paperweight anyhow, and it's not going to get blown away with the little breeze of a fan or whatever. And basically, that's about all there is to it. It will be a unique design, because I've never seen it anywhere on the YouTube before, and it's a kind of a striking geometric shape. Like with this one, like with this shape, and you have a smaller version of it that uses fewer dollars. There's also, you can also take this one and make it a little bit smaller too, where it only uses $6. But that one's a little bit harder to make, and I'm not going to show that one right now. This one is basically kind of fun to put together, and it's just a lot easier. Well, I hope you know how to get it assembled anyway, and and enjoy the figure that you've created or paperweight. And if you'd like to subscribe, just go ahead and hit that button for subscribe, and I'll be coming out with new things as time goes by, showing you how to make unique things, and fun things with dollar bills, which is why I call it kind of Bill-O-Gami. Thank you very much. Bye.